Well, I could not be more excited than to talk about this project on the west side, which will, when it happens, will be the largest park in Provo. Will be located on the west side. So, first thing going after this slide, Isaac, is really talking about why are we talking about this? We're talking about our kids in Provo needing a place to play. Right now, Provo Parks and Recreation programs to almost 300 teams utilizing our parks. And even just in our own program, we were over 2,000 kids that play in our youth soccer program in Provo Parks and Recreation. And when you look at that, we are getting to the point where we are full, and so we are having to turn some of our local kids away when it comes to looking at opportunities to play here because we do not have a place for them. We have converted every single park that has any flat space, we have converted that into an athletic field to try to accommodate the kids in our community. But how great of a problem is this, that we have young, active kids and participating in healthy activities that want to be part of these activities and this lifestyle here in Provo. So our demographics, Provo is just getting denser, and so the stress on these parks is becoming more and more. The largest park that right now we have for youth soccer is Sertoma Park, which is by Centennial Middle School, and that park has 4 fields. And we're talking about something much more exciting now. This is a visionary project. It was in our last master plan. We're looking at a 100-acre park. The purchase of this park on the west side was created by an opportunity to where we had a park over on the east side that the school district needed for a possible expansion at Timpview High School. And that any proceeds that came from that sale of that park had to be utilized as in creating more green space and another park. So we're talking about 21 fields all in one location, which makes it exciting for regional and national tournaments. 400 teams could play a double elimination tournament on this site, so pretty exciting. And it also, another part of that is something that Provo Parks and Recreation is known for. We have a self-sustaining recreation center that operates on its own revenue. We have a self-sustaining golf course that operates on its own revenue. We have a self-sustaining ice arena that operates on its own revenue. That makes us really unique in municipal operations. So just the sheer rumor that this was listed as a visionary project in our master plan prompted people like this was a U9 soccer group that said, when you are ready to build this, we are ready to bring this to you. And this is a major soccer tournament that would love to come to Provo and would love to bring visitors and also bring this dynamic to our community. So we worked with the Utah Convention and Visitors Bureau, and we also talked to our friends in St. George about what the impact of this facility, not only looking from the local need, which we already talked about, and the kids that need a place to play, but we talked about who would come and utilize this facility. We went through, based on if we ran 4 tournaments a month over a 9-month season, we were trying to be really realistic in the tournament size and what have been some of these recent conversations they have talked to us. And so utilizing that model and this size of tournament, this type of facility would generate over $30 million in spending in Provo, our community, by having this facility in our town. Now, that's not $30 million just to Provo City. Provo City benefits somewhat from sales tax and from hotel tax and those type of things. But this is direct business impact. We just got done talking about a grocery store. How much would a West Side grocery store also benefit from those people coming to buy to grab their supplies for the weekend and the day? So we're starting to develop a West Side synergy on the exciting things that could happen on the West Side, and then all those will create more and more excitement out here as we talk about these things. So numbers are all cool, but now we get to see where it's going to be at and what it could look like. So this is, you see the airport on to the left side here, and this is the 100 acres of property right about that bend that Airport Manager Gleason talked about. And that is where the city has purchased that land, and we now own this 100 acres. Is right next to the Hinckley property as a possible site for, well, possible, it's the site that is going to be the regional sports park and also serve as a great park amenity for Provo and the west side. So here's what it'll look like. So the Lakeview Parkway is along this side, so it's kind of turned a little bit, but these are 21 fields, all in one location. You see where it says play in these different areas. Major fun neighborhood park sites that will serve the west side, and also the fields that will serve everybody that is playing from soccer, lacrosse, flag football, all these flat field exciting elements that we have here. This is going to, we talk about the impact of the Provo Recreation Center on Provo, with over 25,000 members, and how that has made a healthier community. I think this is going to have the same impact on our community that our new recreation center has had in creating, but maybe in a different way, and in creating a place for our kids to play their sports, but also a place for visitors that can come and visit Provo. And Provo, with a major university in it, is used to being a major sports facility. So examples of some of the excitement and some of the play that we will see at this facility. We look at, it really is, we have accomplished the first goal, finding 100 acres in Provo. That's a difficult thing, and we've been able to accomplish that goal. Now we are working on the bootstrap financing of this and starting the construction. I'm joined today by Doug Robbins, Assistant Director of Parks and Recreation, who will be a leader on this project, and we're really, really excited about bringing this to the west side of Provo. So it's something that we think is really going to enhance the community as a whole, and could any more exciting things be happening in West Provo than what is happening now, but this is another one of those exciting things. So any questions?
What's the time frame?
Time frame kind of goes on funding. So as we have, Mayor Kaufusi has worked tirelessly, both in the support of this project and in talking to the county about some support on funding because of the people attracting community. But we will be starting almost immediately when the Provo Delta project starts, and they will be doing some digging. We will be bringing in some of their good fill to this project to raise this up so that it's a little bit more suitable for some of the structures that we're building on it, and also for the fields. But we're hoping with the conversion, we have to deliver this park project within 2 years. So it's all going to be happening here within the next 2 years.
Can you go back to the map? Yeah. So it looks like in between the airport and the field, is there going to be hotels and restaurants in that middle in-between space?
Sure does seem like the perfect storm, doesn't it, for it? You've got an expanded airport.
All three of you.
Yeah.
Right?
And then even with youth sports in this day and age, some of these kids are traveling with their families on private jets. And having the airport close, and hopefully Steve sees the synergy of having an attraction this close to the airport also. So
Start down in the south end. Right. Yeah.
we have solved everything at this meeting, haven't we? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I see your vision, and I see that, it seems to make sense.
Perfect. It would be useful for the field and the airport.
Oh.
Designated commercial space already, so.
Even taken care of on the west side plan. That's amazing. You had a question?
Has there been conversation about making it environmentally friendly, or will there be any artificial turf, or will it be all simply just grass that will require watering and mowing and fertilizer and things like that?
So initially, it will be all natural turf. But It's been an interesting discussion with the teams that we're talking, that a lot of them like the feel of natural turf, and we think that the natural turf is actually very sustainable unto itself in that it is, be able to create these green spaces, multiple areas, and our department has led, I think, in Provo City, and quite frankly, all other departments too, about coming up with sustainable practices on how we monitor our irrigation, and you're not seeing, at least we hope not, you're not seeing irrigation when it's raining outside. We have these automated systems that do it. So we're looking at trying to find ways that, and utilizing water sources that could create a more sustainable environment to be able to water this and do some things differently. So we already have those sustainable practices in our DNA, so we will be utilizing those same things at a large park like this. But it's a great question. Yes.
Has using secondary water been part of the discussion?
It is part of the discussion, yeah. You guys are a very knowledgeable group here. And secondary water, we have to look at the suitability. We already do that at the golf course and use secondary water. Sometimes to create that premier athletic sports turf, sometimes you need a higher quality, but we're working with Public Works because it is going to be improved quality now with their new, and I knew you were going to say that as I said it. So, yeah, we're on the same wavelength.
One other thought and comment. My daughter plays soccer, and every tournament I go to, there is never enough parking. It drives me crazy. So have you analyzed, hopefully you've looked at that, and there will be sufficient parking.
So in looking at these other facilities, if you see our parking is substantial and it is actually close. So you are not showing up in that one undersized parking lot at this one and having to walk to field number 21, which is way over on the other side. You can see where this parking is taken throughout the whole facility, and we have tried to address those tournaments as when it's in full use, that enough parking is there throughout the entire facility. Bill?
The other thing we've talked about on that issue is that if you've ever been to those tournaments, there's usually food trucks that show up.
Right.
And instead of the food trucks showing up and taking up parking, we've talked about trying to plan places for them to be able to park, to be conveniently used without eating up a lot of parking. So,
And I've seen that in a lot of the complexes I've gone to. They've been around the bathroom areas on the, at the center of the fields and not taking up parking.
And that's represented in this central complex area here for those parking. What we've got the great benefit is you have a daughter in soccer. So you have traveled to every single tournament. You have probably never hosted a tournament in Provo. So we have got all the benefit of all the other communities' mistakes from our traveling warriors and our youth sports programs. And that's where, working with our neighborhood committee, which we have already formed, we are starting to hear those stories about the pitfalls of some other areas and being able to bring those successful ideas to this facility. So this is just an early rendering to start out from our consultant who we just hired.
So a question about this rendering, I see there's 21 fields. Has there been any consideration of taking out one field, making it 20 fields, and doing a large play area, splash pad, water park, kind of some similar to ideas that they've done at the Salt Lake to attract the kids that inevitably come to all these tournaments?
We are really committed to the neighborhood park amenities to this. So right now they're shown in kind of a rather boring one color way. But I see these areas as, depending on funding, as possible centralized splash pad areas for those type of facilities on the west side also.
And I really, really appreciate that. I'm talking down in, it's Bangor Highway, just south of Bangor Highway. Do you know what facility I'm talking about? Lee? It's a huge splash pad park. It's actually really awesome. It's really fun to take your kids to. I can't remember what it's called right now, but it might take up like half a field or even a whole field. I just wonder if an element like that
Yeah.
could be integrated into something.
The reason we're married to the 2021 field area is that's what that's what makes it different from every other complex, and that's what national and regional tournaments are looking at to be able to attract them to that area. So we'll have to play that balancing act to try to keep the number that we're looking at, but also looking at those amenities. And Doug, the splash pad down at Pioneer Park, Cost on that approximately was, with,
Several years old, but the construction costs were somewhere around $890,000 just for that small package.
Yeah, that was pretty basic.
yeah. Yeah,
It's
it's,
also very expensive to maintain, because that's swimming pool quality water you have to serve.
yeah, everything, you don't even see most of the cost in aquatic facilities in that they're all down in the filtration and the chlorination. So as we work together on funding and as we look at, let's see if the more attractive amenities you added here works on both sides, works for the area and also works for the regional, national nature on it. So your vision is great. Anything else on the regional sports park here?
Sorry.
You're all right.
It's me. How well is it gonna tie into the commercial next to it? Because I see, I'm not seeing exits from the parking lots.
So right now, there would be a roadway here is being discussed, and I know we have our Public Works Director in the back, so the master plan, and there's also a roadway on this side being discussed. And even we have talked about, in this area, is looking at possibly having a commercial pad right there at the entrance for, I think it would be a good place for a convenience and gas station area, possibly, to be able to.
It butts right up against the 500 acres of commercial around the airport, so I'm not worried about commercial being right next to it. I'm wondering about access points and where the access points are going to be to the parking lot versus the roads that are in the.
Everything is utilizing the Lakeview Parkway, which,
Not directly to the Lakeview Park.
This is just conceptual at this point.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry. I just keep asking.
But that is the, with that road being built, that's what created the opportunity for this type of facility to be able to use that high-capacity road to be able to do that. Thanks. Thank you.